Section 183. The Gandharva continued. The Brahmana sage Parasara, thus addressed by the illustrious Vasistha, restrained his wrath from destroying the worlds. But the Rishi Parasara, endued with great energy, the son of Saktri, the foremost of all persons, acquainted with the Vedas, performed a grand Rakshasa sacrifice, and remembering the slaughter of his father Saktri, the great Muni began to consume the Rakshasas, young and old, in the sacrifice he performed, and Vasistha did not restrain him from this slaughter of the Rakshasa, from the determination of not obstructing his second vow of his grandson. And in that sacrifice the great Muni Parasara sat before three blazing fires, himself like unto a fourth fire, and the son of Saktri, like the sun just emerged from the clouds, illuminated the whole firmament. By that stainless steel sacrifice of his, into which large were the libations poured of clarified butter, then Vasistha and the other rishis regarded that Muni blazing with his own energy, as if he were the second sun. Then the great Rishi Atri of liberal soul, desirous of ending that sacrifice, an achievement highly difficult for others, came to that place. And there also came, O thou slayer of all foes, Pulastya and Pulaha, and Kratu, the performer of many great sacrifices, all influenced by the desire of saving the Rakshasas. And O thou bull of the Bharata race, Pulastya, then seeing that many Rakshasas had already been slain, told these words unto Parasara, that oppressor of all enemies: there is no obstruction, I hope, to this sacrifice of thine. O child, takest thou any pleasure, O child, in this slaughter of even all those innocent Rakshasas that know nothing of thy father's death? It behoveth thee not to destroy any creatures thus. This, O child, is not the occupation of a Brahmana devoted to asceticism. Peace is the highest virtue. Therefore, O Parasara, establish thou peace. How hast thou, O Parasara, being so superior, engaged thyself in such a sinful practice? It behoveth not thee to transgress against Saktri himself, who was well acquainted with all rules of morality. It behoveth not thee to extirpate any creatures, O descendant of Vasistha's race. That which befell thy father was brought about by his own curse. It was for his own fault that Saktri was taken hence on to heaven. O Muni, O Rakshasa, no Rakshasa was capable of devouring Saktri. He himself provided for his own death, and O Parasara, Vishwamitra was only a blind instrument in that matter. Both Saktri and Kalmashapada, having ascended to heaven, are enjoying great happiness, and the other sons also of the great rishis, Vasistha, who are younger than Saktri, are even now enjoying themselves with the celestials. And O child, O offspring of Vasistha's son, thou hast also been in this sacrifice only an instrument in the destruction of these innocent Rakshasas. O blessed be thou, abandon this sacrifice of thine, let it come to an end. The Gandharva continued, thus addressed by Pulastya, as also by the intelligent Vasistha, that mighty Muni, the son of Saktri, then brought that sacrifice to an end, and the Rishi cast the fire that he had ignited for the purpose of the Rakshasas' sacrifice into the deep woods on the north of the Himavata, and that fire may seen to this day, consuming Rakshasas and trees and stones in all seasons. Thus ends the 183rd section in the Chaitra-ratha Parva of the Adi Parva.